Today I'm going to be talking about my dream stock. This is a stock that I want to buy and hold for basically the rest of my life. I think it'll be an excellent performer and I'm excited to share that with you today. And at the end, I'm going to give you guys what I think is the buy price, what I want to be able to have the stock go down to in order to buy into it. But I will give it a little bit of some wiggle room because it's a high quality stock, so it might be hard to get it down to my buy price. But I'm going to share everything about this dream stock, and I won't keep you in suspense. It's Costco. So Costco is something that I'm really wanting to get into. I think I've expressed this in a few of my videos. So I want to talk about Costco in this video. I think I'm going to bring up some really unique viewpoints, some great information, and this should just be good knowledge if you guys are considering Costco. So before I get started, if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. I'm somebody that's very transparent. I provide my portfolio performance with every video. This is a journey I want you guys to follow along on, and I want to be transparent through the good and the bad. So there's no hiding anything on this channel. I also provide diverse quality content, and the goal is to help each other on this channel and we all grow our wealth massively over time. So this is a journey to join me on to see how I do. So be sure to subscribe, and let's get started with that transparency by looking at my portfolio performance. Of course, it was another red day in the market, big surprise, but my portfolio is now down 9%. Ouch. So it's taken a hit. That's over $4,000 in the red. But if you watch my last video, I am happy about this. I get to add to quality companies at great valuations. So be sure to look at this. Anything in purple is the allocation by market value. So just ask me any questions about this. I'd be happy to talk about it. But I do want to get going on this video. So let's talk about my dream stock, and that is Costco. If we look at its stock chart, which we are going to start out with, we will see here that over the last 5 years, it's up a staggering 192%. This has been a great stock for investors. They just released good earnings, and this is a stock that I think is going to prove to be a continuous growth profit machine for you and I, whoever may hold it. This stock is in the consumer staples sector. Prior videos, I accidentally said discretionary, but it's consumer staples, and the industry it's in is the food and staples retailing, which will be important because I'm going to compare Costco to the industry averages. So this will be really great to see. It was founded in 1976. Costco operates 815 membership warehouses worldwide. And where in the world are they operating? Well, in America, in the US, Puerto Rico, Canada, the United Kingdom, Mexico, Japan, Korea, Australia, Spain, France, Iceland, China, and Taiwan. So definitely they're operating in many places around the world, but I feel that they have so much more opportunity to expand globally and also in the US. You know, they still haven't saturated the US, they still have a lot of growth. So that's what people are really pricing into this, is the growth, and I think it will happen. And that's why the stock is expensive, which we'll see in a while. So Costco, they're not just there to sell clothes and food and unique items, they also have pharmacies in their store. This is a great growing opportunity for them because it gets people to say, hey, I can go to Costco and get my medications, I'm definitely joining. They also have 636 gas stations, which is, if you've ever gone to a Costco gas station, they're always packed because their prices are lower usually than what you see on the regular corner streets of your city or town. Also, as a member, you get unique benefits. So you get car insurance that you have an opportunity to buy. You get discounts on travel. They also have an e-commerce presence, so they have online app so you can shop. But I will say this, I went into Costco a few times this weekend, which again, this is why I really like the stock, because I really like the company, but I was trying to buy some pants. The sizing, they just didn't have it, so I asked the guy up front if they could order my size, and so we looked online, they didn't carry those particular pants online, and he says, unfortunately, that's how Costco operates. They typically carry different things online versus in the warehouse, and they do that on purpose in order to bring people in. And as a customer, it's a little frustrating, but I get it because if I'm forced to go in, I'm going to see other products and be more willing to buy more than what I went in for. So again, great strategy by Costco. They have 116.6 million members. They have 288,000 employees and they pay an average of $20 an hour. This is a more highly sought after job because they do treat their employees very well. And that's something I really like about Costco, especially since I will be buying their stock at some point, but hopefully sooner rather than later. They're the 6th largest retailer in the world and 3rd largest in the US behind Walmart and Amazon. So they're a really large company. Their most popular item, I thought this would be fun to share, and if you are a Costco member, you probably have this in your house right now. It's the Kirkland Signature Bath Tissues, and they sell over 1 billion rolls a year. So yes, this is one of their big money makers and definitely something I have in my house. So let's talk about more why I love this company. One of the biggest things is it has membership fees that, if you want to go to Costco, you have to become a member and pay these yearly fees. And this has been very successful for Costco. If we see this Costco annual membership fee revenue, you just see it grows and grows and grows, which means they're growing their membership, right? The members that are shopping at Costco, shall I say, they're growing their customers, which is awesome. And Costco really is a sticky membership service. When you go to Costco and you learn how much you can save, you see all the unique products and products that you can't get anywhere else. A lot of companies will make products specifically just for Costco. It becomes something that you do not want to cancel. So it's very sticky, just like an Amazon or any other like Apple type of membership or subscription services. Same thing. So Costco has a very sticky membership. Now, their revenue growth has been fantastic as well. If we look here, we'll see over the last 10 years, you can see the growth path. It's up year after year, and I think that will continue for a very long time. Now, let's look at their PE ratio history. They are towards the high end right now. I think they're at a 36-ish, so this might be a few days or weeks behind, but regardless, this is their average growth. Sometimes with companies you see it downtrend, but with Costco it's uptrending, which is unique because people are still, buying this stock heavily, pushing that price up, even though it's considered overvalued by many. So definitely you can know that a lot of people see this as a high future growth opportunity. If we look at their sales and net income, this will say a lot about a company. Sales have been going up the last 4 quarters and really recently went massively up from quarter 3 to quarter 4. So sales are going up, but what about their net income? Because the net income brings in their expenses. How well are they managing their expenses compared to sales? We'll see the same trend. Their net income is going up over the last 4 quarters, which is fantastic. So something I like to see. I always like to show this fundamental analysis. It's just a review on this company for many different measurements. So they're considered slightly undervalued. They're considered high quality, which I highly agree with that. They have more on the high end growth stability and financial health. So really nothing is in the below or negative territory. This company's looking really well. Now let's move on to my metrics chart, which you guys have become familiar with if you watch my channel often. And this is something that allows me to put in what I think is the most important metrics to measure a company on before I buy. And so this is what I decide to show you guys, and I think it's very important. So what I will show you here is you'll see Costco versus the industry. Now the industry being the food and staple retailing industry, and that's what Costco is in. So we'll see here their PE ratio is pricey. Right now it's at a 35.49 and the industry average is 21. So, you just got to know Costco has been this way for as long as probably I can remember from my research. They're always really above the industry average. Now their earnings per share trailing 12 months versus prior trailing 12 months. You'll see here they're actually below the industry average. It's 16.59% versus the industry average of 45.69. I am not sure why this is, but if we take that out to 5 years, you'll see it flip. Their 5-year EPS growth is 16.66 versus the industry 9.07. So this is definitely, they have good earnings per share growth over the last 5 years. This last year was a little bit of a outside the norm. But overall, if we move to their revenue, we're going to see a very strong picture. Their trailing 12 months revenue growth is 15.83%, where the industry is 10.25. the last 5 years, their revenue growth is 11.96% versus the industry 6.60. So again, very strong revenue growth compared to the industry average. Now their cash flow comes in at 7.61%. That's 5-year cash flow growth versus the industry 5.38. So definitely above the industry average. I love to have strong cash flows in the companies that I own. So this is great. Now their dividend yield, this comes with a kind of, you have to have some extra knowledge here, but it's at 0.77% versus the industry average of 3.04%. So you might be saying that is a huge difference and that's a tiny dividend yield. But they pay special dividends every few years. So the last one they paid was $10 per share. And so they do these special dividends. I think they might be doing one next year is the rumor, but it brings up that dividend yield closer to a 3%, closer to that industry average. So you just have to keep that in mind. Now the 1-year dividend growth is 13.92%, so pretty healthy, and their dividend payout ratio is at a very healthy 27%. Anything below 40% in my eyes is excellent. Now their total debt to assets trailing 12 months is a 14.08% versus the industry average of 31.67%. So they have low debt, which is awesome. So that's good cash flow, that's a low dividend payout ratio, and a low debt percentage, which is amazing. So gross margins, again, gross margin is gross profit divided by sales, which equals the amount earned in profit per dollar of sales. So there is something here you need to know with Costco. Their gross margins came in at 12.72% versus the industry average of 22.13%. But what is this company known for? Cheap prices, right? People shop there to save money. So if they had higher than industry averages, that might not be a good thing for Costco, because then, people wouldn't see them as a great bargain or value. So to me, this is actually a good thing. They're keeping their promise of bringing low prices to customers. Now, return on equity, trailing 12 months. So return on equity is a gauge of a corporation's profitability and how efficiently it generates those profits. The higher the ROE, the better a company is at converting its equity financing into profits. So we'll see that here it's good to be above the industry average. They are at a 29.78% versus the average of the industry of 25.42%. So that's great. And their shares outstanding have gone down quarter after quarter over the last 4 quarters. I love to see that. So they're not diluting us. We get to own more ownership of this company through our stocks. Their market cap, as we know, they're a large company at $206.46 billion. So what I want to show here is overall, they are better than the industry. This company is more healthy in a lot of areas than the industry. And Costco, this is history, right? But going into the future, people really are putting in a huge growth projection into this company, which is why it's so expensive at that 35.49 PE ratio. So what do analysts price this stock at? What is its price target? So if we look here at the price targets of this stock, we will see that right now, of course, their stock is at $480. So at a low end, they're projecting it to be $455. The average is $558.75, and the high is $610 per share. So right now, they're saying there's an upside of about 16.33%. Of course, their stock right now, keep in mind, is about $480. So they're above that low end, in between the low and average. So where would I buy this stock at? Well, if I could have a perfect situation, I mean, not too perfect, but realistic, but a little bit hard to maybe reach for Costco, I'd like this company to be at a 30 PE before I buy. So at a 30 PE, keep in mind they're at $480 per share right now. To fall to a 30 PE means their stock would have to fall to about $400 per share. So that is my wanted target price for this stock, is $400 per share. But I have to average in that this is a high quality company, and it might be hard for that company to get down to that price level, which means I could miss out on an opportunity of just buying in at a level that is still decent and below its PE average through its history. So over the last 5 years, if you take the average PE of Costco, it comes in at 35.8%. And right now, if you remember, it's at a 35.49. So it's right there about the average. So I want it to be below the average, right? So what I think is Where I may start buying in is when this gets to a PE ratio of 34.25, which means it would have to go to $450. So it's not far from there. It's at 480. It almost reached 450. I almost was ready to buy, and then it went back up. Very common for Costco stock to do that. So again, let's review. I will start possibly buying if it drops to 450 or below, but my want is for it to get to $400 per share. If I can get in at a 30 PE, to me, that's where I feel there'd be enough level of safety for buying into the stock, right? I want to always give myself a safety cushion. So I think a 30 PE ratio is where I want to be with Costco. So this is my dream stock. This is the stock I want to buy, where I want to buy it, between 400 and 450, but my target really is 400. So I really have to, if it drops below that, I really have to think about it and see, maybe I'll at least buy in slowly, but then I'd buy in heavy if it goes to 400. So let me know what you think of Costco, of my buying price, my analysis. Again, this is such a high quality company. Their membership is very sticky. It's growing. That is providing dependable reoccurring revenue. This company has great revenue growth compared to the industry average. They have low debt. They have a good dividend, because you have to factor in the special dividend that they pay every couple years. And this company, I just feel, is very addictive. If you are a member of Costco and you don't leave there below $100. It's almost impossible. So this company, I think, has one of the best business models out there. It's one of the best companies. It's a high quality company, one I'd love to add to my portfolio. So I thought I'd share this so you guys can keep that in the back of your mind. So if you see this fall below 450, maybe comment just to remind me, but I'm pretty sure I'll be looking at this pretty closely regardless. So let me know what you thought of this video, and if there's any other companies you'd like me to look at, or any dream stocks that you would want to own that I can look at for you, I'd be happy to do so. With that said, hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time on Mark Arnold's Finance.